Good evening, everyone. I am audible or not? Can anybody confirm it in the chat box? Okay, great. Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well. So, welcome to the event part. Okay, so this is all on the based on the back end also. And those who didn't attend the morning session due to their classes, don't worry about that. Like we will provide you a series of document, okay, where you go through it and you can learn the basics of the front end. And those who didn't understand the front end also, they can also learn it. Also, we will be sharing the Discord link by evening, okay, on the WhatsApp group. So what you can do, you can join that with you can join as a participant, and if you feel any kind of like in doubt, or if you feel stuck between the front end session or back end session, you can ask the website or you can ask the mentor or you can ask, okay, those who are free, they will surely answer your questions. Okay, so the session will be given by the website team. Okay, all the best website team, and thank you so much for joining. Website team, you can start now.
Sir, my slide is visible.
Yes, Prayas.
Okay, so let us start the today's session. So first, I will introduce myself. My name is Prayas Kumar. I am from BTech IT second year. And now, in this presentation, we will talk about the backend part of our website. In the earlier presentation, we only talked about the front end part, like the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But in this presentation, we will talk about the backend part of any website. Okay, so let us start. So the first thing which comes in our mind is what is backend and what is front end. Okay, so first let me tell you that. Next slide. Okay, so what is backend development? So before going to any kind of definition, first you can see in the picture given below, given in the right side, front the whole website development is actually an iceberg. The upper part of an iceberg is just a small part of that iceberg, and below part is quite big. And as you can see, the backend consists of this at this large part of the website. So 80% of the total thing which is there in the website is about the backend, and only the 20% is seen by the users, and it is the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript which user usually see. So as you can read here also, the term front end refers to the user interface, while backend refers to server application, database, and APIs. So to give you a more realistic example, like if a front end development is something like the interior design of a house, and backend development is the bricks, the cement, the distemper, everything which is there to keep the house upright is the backend development. And front end development is the interior design of the house. The interior architecture is front end. The person who comes inside your house only sees the interior design, but he cannot see the backend design, such as the bricks, the cement, the base of the building. He cannot see that. So something the same is there with the website also. The user, when they come in a website, they surf a website, they only see the upper part of the website, which is the front end part. Backend part, user only can feel, but they cannot actually see it. Okay. If you want some good realistic example, I can give you something more about it also. Like if you see, if any one of you who has attended the morning session, you must have noticed that we have made this login form. So this, I think this was the same login form which was made by YouTuber, made by website development board. But if you see this this thing is actually a dead website. It actually doesn't do anything. Suppose if I enter my website, my email ID, abc at the rate of gmail.com, and suppose, sorry, and suppose I enter some password. Okay, but if I press login, I think nothing happens. So you can see nothing happens. The website is actually dead. Why anything is not happening? Because this website is only what you can say. It is only the front end part. The back end part of this website is still not designed. So that's why this thing is happening. When we design a website, the backend part of the website, we have login, we have authentication, we have database, and we have APIs and many more things. We will go by all these things one by one. So now coming back to the presentation, I will share the screen. Okay. In the next slide, as you can see, there's a small picture. As you can see a dinosaur, green dinosaur, and below the green dinosaur, there's a purple monkey. So this dinosaur is actually a dummy dinosaur. It is a dummy animal. It is not moving on its own. Below this thing, the purple monkey is only moving, drifting the dinosaur away. So this is also one of the you can say interactive example to show what is back end and what is front end. If this monkey stops moving the thing paddle thing, the dinosaur also stop moving forward. So that same thing happens with website also. The back end part of the website, if it stops working, the front end part of website is of no use to the person, the user, or anybody else. Okay. So so this is what we call backend, and that is the difference between backend and front end. So if you want a much more realistic example, you can also see whenever you type forgot password in any of the website, it sends an automatic confirmatory email, and all these things is done only by the help of backend development. If there is no backend development, this thing cannot happen. As I have shown the live example here. So as front-end development uses many type of languages, and the same time backend also uses some languages like PHP, MongoDB, Python, Java, .NET, Ruby. So all these languages are used by backend developers. So if you say both front-end and backend is important for a website to work properly. If it doesn't have good front-end or it doesn't have a well-organized backend, it won't work properly. So they both are mutually exclusive and they both are important. Okay, so we go to the next slide. Okay, so now there is something called Firebase. Now let me give you a real example. What is a Firebase? You can see in this blog page. This blog page is only available in my computer. Like if I open in my computer only, this blog page will open. If you copy the same link in your computer or system, it might not open. This means that this thing is only available locally in my computer. If you want to make it available globally, you have to host your website. You must have heard that website needs to be hosted before it is made live, before it actually work in a global manner. So Firebase is the same thing. In simple language, Firebase actually helps in hosting the website. Now let us see what is Firebase. So Firebase was developed by Google as a leading backend service in the market. It allows connecting data between Android, iOS, and web applications. Firebase infrastructure can be easily handled by a web console without any server. And there is one good news also. The good news is that if you want to learn Firebase, there is no prerequisites required. Like for JavaScript, you are supposed to know CSS and HTML and another programming language. But for Firebase, you are not supposed to know any language. You are supposed to know only some commands, which I am going to teach you. In next slide. So these are all the platforms supported by Firebase. There are many platforms such as iOS, Android, Web, C++, and Admin SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit. These are all the platforms supported by Firebase. So both website, the vanilla JavaScript and JavaScript frameworks, Android, iOS, all these things are supported by Firebase. Okay. Okay, so now we have enough of theory. Now let us do some practical. Now I will practically show you how to make a website live from your computer in the internet. How to share your website on Google Cloud, or how to make a website live. Now I'm going to show you practical example how I will do it. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, so let us begin. So as you might have known that in the previous session. Okay, so before I move forward, any one of you has any kind of doubt? Okay, so I don't think anyone has any kind of doubt. So let us move forward with learning Firebase. And
सर
Firebase can be
डाउटे
learned by,
डाउट है सर, कुछ जो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है।
yes, yes. Okay,
सर
आपको
बोले कि खाली डाउट
कहाँ
है,
पे
कुछ
समझ
जो
में,
समझ में नहीं आ रहा है सर। सर
अच्छा
कहीं पे भी
कहाँ पे
समझ में
समझ
नहीं
में,
आया।
अच्छा आपने मॉर्निंग सेशन
बोले
अटेंड किया
सर
था?
कहीं पे समझ में नहीं आया सर।
नहीं नहीं
नहीं
नहीं,
सर।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपने 11 में। हाँ तो फिर जब आपने 11 बजे जब आपने अटेंड नहीं किया तो ये कैसे समझ आएगा? ये तो थोड़ा एडवांस हो गया, क्योंकि 11 बजे आपको हमने फ्रंट एंड बताया था,
ओ ऐसा
और
बात है।
अभी हम आपको करना, हाँ इसी से समझ में नहीं आया। चलिए कोई बात नहीं, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी, आप ये बिना उसके भी आप कर सकते हैं। आप बस थोड़ा बहुत ध्यान दीजिएगा, आपका हो। तो एज यू कैन सी इन इफ माय स्लाइड इज विजिबल।
प्रयास एक मिनट।
हाँ
अच्छा, जिसको अगर ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आती है तो आपको घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है। दिस इज द स्टार्टिंग एंड यू कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बेसिक। अगर एक क्लास में भी समझ नहीं आया था तो आप अच्छे से सुनिए, समझिए, ठीक है। देखिए क्या हो रहा है अच्छे से। जब उसको आप अप्लाई करेंगे, व्हेन यू अप्लाइड इन बाय योर ओन, तब आपको समझ में आएगा, ठीक है। ऐसे माइक पे बोलना, अगर आपसे कोई सवाल पूछता है तो आपको चैट बॉक्स पे लिखना चाहिए। एक अच्छी सी बात है, उस पर लिखेंगे तो सब देखेंगे। आप अगर माइक खोल के बोलोगे ना, तो एक अच्छा मैनर नहीं है, क्योंकि वो सामने वाले पर्सन को डिस्टर्ब करता है। तो हमेशा ध्यान रखना, क्योंकि ये 50+ ऑडियंस है। तो आपसे जब पूछा जाए तभी आप चैट बॉक्स पे लिखिए, अनलेस वी स्पोक दैट यू हैव टू ओपन योर माइक। ओके, तो ये बात का आप अच्छे से ध्यान दीजिए, ठीक है। और जिसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा, नो प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है। या आप जिसको जो डाउट आ रहा है उससे पूछिए। अब ऐसा कोई अगर ऐसा आता है कि जिसको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, आप देखते रहिए, समझिए। पहले आप अपने से ट्राई करिए। आप अगर लाइक यू आर सेइंग दैट मेरे को कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, अपने से ट्राई नहीं किया और अब कुछ समझ नहीं आया तो नहीं आएगा वो। हम वो फिर कोई नहीं सिखा सकता आपको। हम यहाँ पे स्पून फीडिंग नहीं करेंगे। वी आर हियर टू हेल्प यू, गाइड करना हमारा काम है, गाइड करेंगे, ठीक है। कहाँ से सीखे, कैसे करे, क्या करे, अब करे। अब उसको थोड़ी ना पता खिलाएंगे कि आओ आओ ये खाओ ये लो। तो ये बात का अगर अब हमेशा लोग ध्यान रखेंगे। जिसको समझ नहीं आ रहा कोई बात नहीं, आप आराम से पेशेंट होकर सुनिए और अच्छे से कहिए, ठीक है। ओके, प्रयास करते।
okay sir. So now continue. So in the morning session you have must have seen that we have created all these HTML, CSS and JavaScript files. So so now we are going to make this thing, the whole thing live on the internet. So how we will do? First we will go in the search bar. In the search bar we can see this path. Now we are supposed to delete it, backspace it, and write CMD. CMD, a new command console will get open. This is your command prompt. Many of you must have known. So this is a command prompt, and the path of this command prompt is the same path of this thing, of the path of all these files. Okay, so now here what you have to do is, first you have to install Firebase in your system. If you don't install Firebase in your system won't work properly. So first you have to install Firebase. So how you will install is, you will write some commands. I'm writing a command npm install /save Firebase. and now you're supposed to press enter. So as you can see, something is happening below. Actually, the Firebase is getting downloaded. So in the meantime, till the time that Firebase gets downloaded, what we will do is we will open the Firebase website. So this is the official Firebase website. Okay. So first, when you will open this website, you are supposed to register yourself in this website. Because I have already registered in this website, I may not need to register it again. But you have to register with your email ID. Okay. So in the right corner, you can see there is something called Go to Console. Click on this. So the Firebase is loading. So this is my project file. Okay. So as you can see, there are many projects from beforehand only, but we will make a new project for your sake of convenience. So let us name our project Hackfest. Okay. So this is the name of our project. And continue. Okay. So one more thing I will have to tell you before doing anything on Firebase, you are supposed to have your Google Analytics account. So for that, you don't have to do anything. Go to search bar in Google and type Google Analytics. This thing, Google Analytics. Type this and make an account, and then come back to Firebase website. So I have already made an account, as you can see. So I can click it, and we will click on Create Project. Okay. So our project is creating. Now let us go back to our command line. This was our command line, and as you can see, the download is actually finished. Now after downloading this, you are supposed to download another npm package. So I forgot to tell you one thing. I have written here npm install Firebase. So what is npm? Npm stands for Nodeman Package Manager. So what is Nodeman? Nodeman is the world's largest open source software registry. It is free to use and it uses command line interface. You might not understand it right now, but as you will learn backend more, you will understand. So with the help of npm package, we will install one more npm package. So I will write npm I Firebase tools p. So this is a command which is I am going to type, and after that, all the Firebase tools will get installed in my system. And one more thing you can notice when this thing got installed in our project directory, now there is one thing called package log.json and node modules. These two files got installed when we were installing our Firebase. So this is also getting downloaded. So before it get downloaded, in the meantime, we will go here. In the website, you can see our project Hackfest is already ready. So now you are supposed to open this project, and now what you are supposed to do is go on this button, this setting button, project settings. Now open. Now there are three options: iOS, Android, and web. You are supposed to click on this. Okay. Now you're supposed to name your web app. So let us name it blog. Fine. Okay. This is the name of our app which we are going to render on online. So we register app. You can name anything. There is no mandatory. You can name it anything. After this, okay. Now after this, you can see there is a automatic code generated. So there is no issue. You are just supposed to copy this code, the whole code. This thing you have to copy copy it, and you're supposed to paste this thing in our blog.html. So this is our boilerplate, the morning boilerplate in which we created the blog website, and you are supposed to paste it below the head from here to here. You're supposed to paste it. So in my system, it is already been pasted, so there is no need for me to paste it again. Okay. Now let us go back to a command line interface. Okay. So in command prompt, it is saying that this thing, Firebase tools, is already installed. So now we'll move forward. But before forward, what I will do is all the HTML, CSS, JavaScript file which we created in the morning, we will copy it and paste it here. Okay. And please don't worry about all the other things like public file, .5 is. Don't worry about it. I will tell you what this, what all of it is. Okay, so now we'll close it, and now I will open my command prompt from here. CMD. Okay. Now, now I will type Firebase login. So when you will type Firebase login, one, it is yeah, okay. So you, as you can see, it is showing that already logged in as splash dot my email ID. So when you will do pass this command Firebase login, when you will pass this command, you will see something like this. You will see something like this. You will get this picture. Means when you pass that command Firebase login, this thing will get automatically opened, and it is saying that Firebase CLI login successful. So when you will do it in your system, you will get all these things. Okay, so let me go back to my command line. Okay, so this thing is already done. Now I will initialize my Firebase project. I will type Firebase. 1 minute, there's a spelling mistake. I will type Firebase init. When you will type Firebase init, it will show a design kind of thing. This means that Firebase is successfully installed in your system. Now it is asking, are you ready to proceed? You're supposed to type Y. Y means yes. Now they will select, there are many options: database, Firestore, function, hosting, storage. And how will you select this option is by clicking on spacebar. When you click on spacebar, this database gets selected. And by using the arrow key, you can go up and down. So I have selected database. Now I will select hosting. This too, you have to do according to the need of your website. According to the need of your website, which you are going to host, you have to select this option. If you are also aiming for authentication, you are supposed to select this also, emulator and all. But for now, we will not touch this, and press enter. When you press enter, this thing happens. It is asking, please select an option, use an existing project. So as you all know that in my website, I've already made a project known as Hackfest. So when I'm already having a project called Hackfest, I will choose the option use an existing project. So I will click enter on it. Okay, so as you can see, there are many options which is generated. One is Hackfest EE-A73, this thing. So I want my HTML, CSS, JavaScript to get deployed in this Hackfest project. I can deploy it in this project also, blog project one. But for now, I will deploy it in Hackfest. So I will press enter. Okay. So database setup is taking place. Wait for some time. Okay, so it is asking, it seems like you haven't initialized a real-time database. So do you want to set it up? So you will type yes. Why? Why means yes. Press enter. Now it is giving us two options, US Central, Europe West. Type US Central. Now it is creating our database. What file would should we use for real-time database security? So you can name any file. I am naming it data.json. Make sure that the name of the file contains a suffix called .json. You can name it anything, data.json or anything, but it should be data.json. And now press enter. So now it is asking, do you want to use it as a public directory? So I will open my file from where my command line was running. So here we will write public. As soon as you write public here, you can see there is a public folder created in my directory. So it gets automatically created by the system. Now it is asking that configure a single page app, rewrite all the URL to index.html. So if you are containing index.html naming file from before only, you will type no, or if you are not containing it, you will type yes. So because I am already having index.html in my public folder, so I will type no. If you want to deploy your project on GitHub, you can type yes, but for now I will type it no. It is saying that public file is already existing. So do you want to overwrite? So my answer is no, because I don't want to overwrite. If you're not having public file, you can overwrite it. No, no as well. Okay, so here you can see a message is popping up. Firebase initialization complete. And when this thing happens, you can see there are many extra folders which were created, which was not before. Like this folder, as you can see, Firebase, SRC, gitignore, data.json. These are new files which are created after I passed all the commands here. And one more thing, this one also firebase.json is also the new file which was created, and public directory also contain index.html and 404.html, which was automatically created by the command line interface. So you are not supposed to worry about it. So what I will do is I will copy all my HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which we did in the morning session. All the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I will copy and I will paste it in the public directory. Okay. So I think there is no rocket science behind it. It is very, very basic. Index.html and 404.html was already existing. I just did was I copy all my HTML, CSS, JavaScript file and copy pasted in this public directory. Now one more thing you have to do is open your blog.html in Sublime Text, and you're supposed to copy all this thing and copy paste it in index.html. This is my index.html. I have already copy pasted it, so I don't need to copy paste it one more time. And make sure that this thing you're seeing where Firebase configuration API key, all these things are essential. If this thing is not there in your boilerplate, your website might not get hosted in live environment. So this thing must be there. Okay. This measurement ID, API ID, messaging sender ID, all these things. Okay. So okay, now I will type a command. Fire because my initialization is already completed. I will type Firebase. By typing this command, please try to understand. If you type this command, what will happen is your website will get locally hosted. I will tell you the difference between local hosting and actual hosting. Firebase.serve, press enter. It might take time. You're not supposed to worry about it. The reading from this is the name of my directory, the path of my directory, blog application, and it is showing me a host also, showing me a link. So what I will do is I will copy this link and I will open my Google Chrome. I will open a new tab and I will copy paste this and I will press enter. As you can see, this was the same website which we created in the morning, the blog post, which contains HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this thing, as you can see in the URL, it is a localhost 5000. Localhost means your website is now locally hosted. And when you localhost the website, it will show something like this: hosting service files from public. Public is the name of the directory which we created, if you remember. Now, in order to host the website live on the internet, what we will type, Control C, it will show shutting down. So it will show terminate that job. No. Type no. Now type Firebase, Firebase deploy. When you type Firebase deploy, this website, all this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript which was involved in this website, it will get deployed in the internet, and anyone throughout the world can see this thing. Okay, so I will press enter. It is taking some time. So now it is deploying database and hosting it also. Okay. So there are total 9 files and each files are getting uploaded. So let us count how much files were there in this thing. There were total of, yes, there were total of 9 files, as you can see here, 9 items selected. All these things are getting deployed on the internet. Okay, so as you can see, it is showing that our deploying is successful. So deploy is complete. Here you can see, and below it is providing us a link. So I will copy this link, and what I will do is I will open my Google Chrome and I will paste this link in the URL section. And when I press enter, so now as you can see, this website which we created in the morning, the blog post, now it is hosted online. So for your confirmation, I am giving this link to you people in the message section, and I request all of you to open this thing and please confirm in the message that whether the website is actually opening or not. So I have already sent the link. Please open it and type in the comment section whether the website is actually deployed in the internet or not. I am waiting for a response. Okay, so I can see Srijani Som, Prashant Yadav, Kishan Kumar said. Yes, so this thing is now live on the internet. Anyone around the world can open that link and it is opening. So this is how you're supposed to deploy a website. So before I end my session, I would like to show you one more thing. If you go back to this thing, our Firebase, this our profile, you can see you are supposed to go on hosting. You click on hosting, something will come. Something has happened. Okay, so it is showing us the history, the details of all the website which were uploaded through this project. So this was, I think this is the same URL which I gave you in the comment section. If you go down, it is showing my email ID, my photo, and it's showing that my website is currently deployed and it is in use. And there are a total of 11 files. Earlier there was 9, now there are 11. And if you want to open it one more time, you can, of course, you can do it from here also. So it is working. Now let us see that this read mode is working or not. But this is also working. I can go back also. I can go back to login also. But one more thing is that if I type ABC at the rate of gmail.com and types any password, and if I try to log in, nothing happens. Okay. So still this thing is not taking place. So this is called authentication. Our website is deployed, but it is not authenticated. Means it does not support user authentication till now. Now my session ends here. I thank all of you, and now I will request Yuvraj to come and tell you about how you can do authentication and database management in Firebase. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Ayush.
Hello, thank you, Prayas. Hello, everyone. Is my screen visible? Okay. So, wherever, first of all, I would introduce myself. I am, I am Yuvraj Singh, second year CSE, and so now I will start today's presentation. Features of Firebase. So, features of Firebase. There are several features of Firebase, like real-time database, in which we store the data in the database in form of key value pair in JSON object form. We can do hosting, host the site, and we can do authentication. Means we can, if there is a login form there, then we can sign up the user through the base, remote configuration, test lab, notifications, app indexing, dynamic links. What is authentication? Authentication is the process of Authentication is the process of recognizing a user's identity. It is a mechanism of associating incoming request with a set of identifying credentials. Means we can authenticate a user that it is present in our system or not in the database, and then we can log in the user. What is database? Database is an organized collection of structured information or data typically stored electronically in a computer system. Uh, a database is usually controlled by a database management system. Firebase provides us with a database uh, like cloud store or real-time database our data. These are some resources of Firebase where we can run Firebase. These are some links given. Now, the practical part. First of all, we will try to authenticate the means the login form which we have created in the morning. Now we will try to add some backend in it. So whenever the user clicks on the button, the user can sign in. So first of all, we need to so we will open this. This is the login form. Currently, we are not able to sign in to this login form. First of all, we need to do the authentication. We will go to the Firebase console and we will create a project. Let us name it. Let us name the project first. Now continue. We will select an account for the Google Analytics. We'll select default account for Firebase. We will create the project. Our project is loading. So this is our Firebase console where we can add an app and do the authentication and perform all the bind for that. Like we can do authentication, we can use Firestore, or we can use real-time database. So first of all, we will need to an app to our project. We will name our app. So this is a Firebase SDK, which is needed which this is a JavaScript library, which is needed for the backend, which we will form by Firebase. So we need to add this to our our code. So we will add this to the bottom of our body tag where we have entered the email. We will paste it. So you see, this is the link for a Firebase app.js and analytics.js. Since we have to perform authentication also, so we will also uh, give a link to another file that is this is Firebase auth.js. And we also use Firebase Firestore project. So we will paste the link for Firebase Firestore. And this is Firebase config object, which is required for this is the link for our app to the Firebase console, so that use the Firebase services. So we will copy this Firebase config object and paste it in a main.js file here. So we'll continue console. We need to first enable authentication for our app. This is the authentication section of the Firebase where we need to get. And we will try to provide authentication using email and password. This is disabled currently. We will first enable it, and we will also create a this default user so that we can test our project. Let us do this. And this is default user. Now we will try to sign in using this and check if it is working or not. Now, for signing in, we need to first take the input the user enters here. We need to take this input and then perform operations. So we'll take the input. So in the HTML file, uh, we have, given an ID to our text box input fields, email and password. So we will get that value in the JavaScript section. Where here we written so much boilerplate code so that you can save some time. This is document.get element by ID. This function means this is a ID for our form, and we are getting that by ID. We are getting that form, and we are adding an event listener to our form. Like whenever we submit the form, a function is called. This function is named as submit form, and we will perform the operations after the submit here. So, and we are also made another function, get input value. This function in which I have given a parameter ID. So this function will return the value the user enters in that input field, and so this function called here get input value, and the ID for the email input field is ID email, and this is password. So we are entering ID here and password, and this email will will contain the text the user enters and password the user enters. Now we will perform the Firebase authentication. This is the we have Firebase.auth object, and then the sign in with email and password function. Email and password. We have given the parameters email and password. So when this function is called, the user gets signed in. The user credential is generated. So and the user credentials. And inside this implementation, we have given that from the user credential, we will retrieve the user name or user value. So we will change it. We will retrieve user email. Means the email which the user enters will be stored in this value. And then we will, after signing in, we will uh, display the email we have got of the signed in user in an alert box. Alert box in JavaScript, it forms is a prompt which means prompts from the top and shows you some information that the website is trying to tell you. So we'll call that window dot alert, and we will display the user just there, like user signed in successfully, and we will also display the image of the user. And if the synthesis is not means if there is a problem, an error, then the control will come to here, and we can see the error what the error there is. So we will display the error we have got in that function alert. So we will display error message. So in this way, by this function, we will able to sign in the user. But for that, we need to call this main.js function link in the login.html file. So after the script tag, we will again give a link, and in the source attribute, we will give the JavaScript file here. So this is the source. Source attribute will contain the means the location where our file is, the JavaScript file. So we will give the location, that is main.js file. Okay. So now we'll to run this app and see the changes. Since we have created a test user, so we will take this value only, and we will enter the password. Right. I think there is an error. is not.
Sir, voice is not coming.
I think there's some problem. It is not authenticating. Uh, so we will log in using this. This is there's some problem that it is not, but this is the way how we can authenticate the Firebase, but it is not currently. Now, this there's some problem in authentication, but you can learn this authentication from Firebase. There is logs available. Now, Firestore. This is a cloud Firestore. Means there we can store the data using Firebase. This is the cloud Firestore location. You have to select a store location and enable it. This is the Firebase database, and we can store the data in the Firebase also. And hosting was explained by Prayas sir. This is all. Thank you. Does anyone has any doubt?
Sir, can you summarize it all?
Okay. So the Firebase is a tool which can be used for making the authentication possible. Like we can sign in using the Firebase, and we also store that data in Firebase using the Firebase database. And these are some resources for Firebase. You can go to these links. Uh, there is also YouTube video for Android Kotlin, which was taken earlier by Dipesh sir. And this link you can go for Android using Kotlin. That's it from my side. Thank you. I will call Abhishek sir. Abhishek sir, please continue.
Okay, Raj. So anybody have any kind of doubt regarding this, or if they want to ask anything regarding this, so they can ask. Website will reply that. Okay, I think no one have any further doubt. So, like, if you are doubting yourself that did I ask this question or not, no problem. Everything is available on the internet. If you feel any kind of problem in that, you can search it, and if you can't find the solution, then you can contact the website team also. Okay, so all the very best for this website development. Okay, and tomorrow is the like the great session, and it will be taken by a professional, which is all about the UX design. Okay, so design day one will be from I think after 6 p.m. Like your classes are over, then you can take rest, and you can join this session, and it will be your like the different session from others, because it will really help you throughout the 4 year. Okay, so you have to join, and like today's evening session strength is very low, but I suggest that for tomorrow, please don't make sure that your friends will come also. आप अपने friends को भी लाइए, because we have taken a speaker from the industry. Okay, sir, for IT batch class ends at 6:45. Oh, tomorrow class will end at 6:45. Really? अच्छा. Okay, no problem. I think it will be started from 6:30. You can wait for the like. You can join, and the 10 minutes difference is little bit okay. No need of any. It is taken by R.K. Pandey, sir. So what you can say, there is a hackathon is going on. So please, we have to go and from 6:30. So please leave us for 15 minutes. Okay, you can say that. It's up to you, like how you handle this situation. Right, for the today's CSE class is going on for from 10:30 to 12:30. I requested to sir, please postpone these classes, but it can't happen because sir wants to complete their syllabus and your examination is also coming. That's no need of worry. Okay, so this kind of things have happened, but you have to manage study and your skill set, everything. Okay, thank you so much everyone, and I hope this session will give you a great knowledge about the Firebase and the backend part. Okay, although some technical issues come, like some authentication like this, but don't need to worry about. It will be resolved soon. Okay, so if you find any kind of doubt, you can ask the website team, and if you don't have any doubt, you can leave this session. Thank you so much everyone. Also, although those who didn't register for the hackathon, they can register through the website. Thank you.